Oh God, I'm not ready to do this today. I gotta have my coffee first. All right, guys, it's day one like that. All right, guys, day one at AnimalCon USA.
Just ask yourself, what would Brian do?
All right, guys, it's day. All right, guys, it's day one of AnimalCon 2023. I'm down here in Orlando, Florida. And last night was a long night. I had a long trip from California over here, and I'm with my friend Bailey, which is all the way down there, still getting ready.
Let's do this thing.
Oh, did it get focused? That's good. Dang, you got energy, bro. I like that. I like that. All right, guys, I'm gonna try to show you guys as much of AnimalCon as possible. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. All right, guys. I'm not ready for this, man. Bailey, are you ready for AnimalCon 2023?
I am ready.
Yeah. Let's go. This is too much for me.
I'm going to try to do this without getting emotional. There's always been a lot of emotions here lately with me. The last several months have been a lot of emotions. I'm going to try not to cry because I'm so emotional about what's going on here. First, I want to thank everybody here, you know, obviously attendees, you know, all the creators that believe in this vision. For those of you guys, I'll walk through a little bit how this works and stuff like that. So you guys know, like, our vision for AnimalCon is to bring people together. You know what I mean? Obviously, creators that are passionate about you know, getting people to love animals, you know, get them together, also connect them with the people that support us, you know. I mean, us as creators can't do the things that we do without the people that support us. So that's what the event is for us, you know, and it's about, you know, my vision now and going forward, and my plan is to be here for many years to come. Yeah. Thank you.
Let's go, Brian.
But no matter what happens, my vision will keep going on, and it's going to be about having a good time at this event, sharing passion, getting people to love animals. And the thing that I love the most about this event is when I see, you know, number one, to the creators out there, I'm a fan of every single one of you guys. You know, I watch every one of your videos multiple times probably. I love creating content. I love absorbing content. And I love the fact that last year, and I know this year will happen too, creators will meet each other for the first time. They'll create a bond, and then they'll go travel to Madagascar together, or they'll make videos together in Florida, or they'll, you know, visit each other, and that to me is what this is about. You know, it's always about growing the community, growing people that love animals, and I thank you guys for making, you know, year one last year successful, but this year is much better, and that isn't just. As a matter of fact, I probably had less to do with this year than I did last year, and I have a great staff and a great crew and great partners, and you guys that are supporting us, traveling and buying tickets and being here and sacrificing your time and energy. It means so much to me. And by the way, because I was an emotional wreck for a second, I do want to kill the 800-pound elephant in the room, which is I don't want pity this weekend. I want everyone to treat me like a human being, not a cancer patient. I'm so grateful I'm here. I didn't think I was going to be here. And don't feel sorry for me. You know, I want you guys to understand that I just want to be normal. And I'm so sorry. This is like, it's embarrassing. So, have a good time. The way this is going to work, you can see we have couches up here this year for the people that were here last year. We had tables. We wanted to feel a little bit more intimate, like we're sitting down and having a conversation with you guys. Today, being the industry day, this is the only stage that has events. It's just the other day, and I think it's a God thing, to be honest with you, because we went over budget. We went over the budget, and we had already spent X amount of dollars, and then I looked at our bank account, and we had X amount of dollars, and we're pretty close to being fully funded, and I don't know how it happened. I seriously don't. I mean, like I said, I think it's a God thing, because I thought that we would be like $1 million shy at least, and somehow, some way, we're not. So again, that's maybe a testament to my staff and figuring out how to make money. But so the aquarium hopefully will be open for Christmas, hopefully, God willing. I hope that all you guys can come visit me, because it's my labor, it's the legacy aquarium, it is my legacy, and I'm putting everything that I have into it, and it's going to be amazing. So I appreciate you guys coming and seeing it and having a great time. And
so if I guess we could get started by everybody just introducing yourself and letting us know where you're from. Not that you need much of an introduction, but
yeah, these guys are all legends for sure. I think obviously I'm Brian Barczyk. I'm from Detroit, Michigan. Run the Reptarium, working on the Legacy Aquarium, which, by the way, someone just made me this hat, the very first Legacy Aquarium Reptarium hat that the gentleman made. So thank you so much for that. Yeah, it's awesome. And this legend here.
Oh dear. I'm Dingo Dinkelman from South Africa, and we're involved with a whole bunch of reptile stuff, and I'm actually a giraffe owner now. It's quite a big deal.
Good morning, I'm Forrest Galante, wildlife biologist. I work on a variety of different species, particularly human-wildlife conflict animals, critically endangered, edge of extinction stuff, and unlike pretty much everybody else up here, I'm not much of a keeper. I'm more out in the field guy. I do have way too many animals at home. No giraffes though. Yeah, no, more of a field guy, and that's sort of how I've built it up.
Thank you, Forrest. Oh, sorry, man. Oh, you got one? Oh, yeah. Perfect. Hello, I'm Corbin Maxey from Idaho. Thank you. Go potato. So thank you. We're a potato nation. Anyway, I care for over 30 exotic rescued animals, mainly reptiles, which I know 30 animals means nothing to you guys. To most people it does, and most notably, I have 2 rescued alligators named Sonny and Chompers. Oh, look, we have 1 fan. Thank you. We built them an alligator house along the Snake River, and that's what our content is about. We also have the baby tortoises. We'll get a photo later. Thank you, ma'am.
Hello, I'm Clint Laidlaw. Our YouTube channel is Clint's Reptiles, and I am a gigantic nerd. My wife and I recently started an educational outreach called Clint's Reptile Room, which is in Springville, Utah. And right now, we're in the middle of a major reconstruction. We kind of had the soft open during the pandemic, but now we're finally doing a grand opening next month, and we're really excited about that. We've also been enjoying doing summer programs called Clint's Reptile Academy. So a lot of fun stuff going on.
How's it going? My name is Jay Brewer, and I own a place called the Reptile Zoo in Southern California. And I love reptiles, I love people, and I love this group, and I'm really glad everybody made it down. And community is where it all starts, and that is what social media is and supposed to be. So I'm excited that we're all here together, and get ready for a great weekend. Awesome, thank you.
Get everything.
So I gotta add you.
Okay. Bionic Benny.
Okay.
Is that King Corso?
Yeah.
Oh, it's such a nice little King Corso too. Wow. Okay.
Let me get out of this way.
How do you say it? Kinsey?
Kinsey.
Kinsey Monkey.
This is Kinsey.
Kinsey, just Kinsey.
Kinsey.
Okay, gotcha.
Or you can say Kinsey Monkey.
I don't mind it. Whatever.
Hello, it's not that kind of show, girl.
And then.
What the heck?
All right. Okay. You ready?
Yep.
All right, guys. I'm here at AnimalCon, and if you just want to introduce yourself, and what do we have here?
Hi, I'm Kelly Kinsey, and this is Kinsey Monkey. She is a black and white capuchin, and this is Kane, and he is a cinnamon capuchin.
So, is there any facts about these guys you could give us?
Well, she is 1.5.
Okay.
He's 9.5 months.
Okay, 1.5 and 9.5 months.
9.5 months.
Okay.
They live in captivity 35 to 40 years.
That's a long time. Wow.
Yeah.
And they're good looking. Do they come in other colors? Is there any?
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What colors
yeah,
are?
we have a black cap at home.
Okay.
He's pretty much all black.
Okay. Is this the one, so you guys work specifically just with capuchins or with other monkeys too?
Well, I volunteer at a zoo, and this is where this little guy's from.
Yeah.
And it's called Way Back Exotics.
Yeah.
And she has every animal you can imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. And what was the name again for this one?
Kinsey.
Kinsey?
And Kane.
Kinsey and Kane. I like those names. And where can we follow you? Do you guys have social media or
Yeah. Kinsey Monkey. There's also that. You can take a picture of it.
That deals with outside firms like you were talking about. I have been going to events like this. I think we might have even been at the same event, VidCon. I met a guy named Matt Gillen from Little Monsters, and he was the first outside consultant that I hired to discuss exactly what this topic is all about. And then he works internally with our team. Ty wasn't around when we worked with Matt Gillen, but we did another evaluation of all of our. We have 4 YouTube channels, and we did an evaluation of that with a company called Video Creators. And Video Creators worked with Ty, the marketing manager, to assess things like this. And so when I'm asked to be on this panel, I'll just refer it back to my expert on staff, which is Ty, who worked with. I worked originally with Matt Gillen, just finding him, but he works with Video Creators. This was this spring, wasn't it?
Actually, it was last fall. We came across them at Vid Summit. You guys been to Vid Summit out in California every October. It was founded by Tim Schmoyer, who is kind of a mover and
Yeah, do you guys know what Social Blade is? Probably. It's a good way to look at your analytics daily and see how your competition's doing. I'm super competitive, so I like to see how Clint's doing all the time and all these other people, and I like to know that I'm beating them constantly, and it makes me feel good. Because Kevin wants to feel good too. I don't know. Give me next question. This is weird.
Okay, all right. I'd like to hear your answer to that question, because I think you actually do a really good job of that. That's definitely a question that, like, I'm an absolute moron when it comes to that stuff.
Was that a good way to answer my own question?
It's great.
Okay, perfect. So I think that all of us started, obviously, because we have a passion for what we do. This wasn't about money in the first place. I would venture to guess that all of us who started a channel never thought we'd make a dime doing what we're doing. We just threw a camera on because someone suggested it. So at what point, I guess, do you start thinking about the money and the engagement instead of just the passion? At what point do you...
I have an answer.
Sure.
It's probably the only one I'm going to be able to answer. At Gatorland, we didn't have a big social media presence before I came there, and when I came there, I took over all the social media there. So the money wasn't the most important thing for us at all, and probably still isn't other than this. The goal would be to get people to come to the park, obviously, show them the cool things, teach people about alligators and crocodiles and things like that. But we found a way that works successfully for us in that all of our social media revenue turns into conservation money. So our conservation arm is 100% fueled by every single video that goes out from Gatorland. So if it's on my page, it's a little more risky because Gatorland can't put out that kind of risky stuff. So if it looks a little, if it's gonna get a bunch of like, we hate this girl, whatever, I hope she gets bit, those kinds of things, like all of that I appreciate because that just drives the video even stronger, so I leave it up there most of the time. And then when those videos do, you know, have the potential to go viral and things like that, that makes a lot of money, and then I can take that money into other countries and do really good work with that money. So what it makes...
And you have to be invited into that program. So it wasn't like a threshold like, hey, you get 1,000 hours of watch time or whatever the case may be. It was, I think now it's 4,000 subscribers. I think they dropped it from 4,000 to 1,000 now subscribers, and then 4,000 hours of content or something like that. But so we eventually got invited into the partner program, but we were putting out one video a week. It was getting maybe 40, 50,000 views. And so for the first really till 2000, from 2008 to 2016, I never actually made a dollar, because every dollar I made just went to paying my editor, or camera guy, or something like that. Literally not a dollar. I didn't pull one penny for 8 years out of YouTube. And in those 8 years, I put a video out every single week, never missing a week. And then in 2016, I started the vlog channel that went to 7 days a week, and now it's 5 days a week or something like that lines. And really, again, I didn't really do the vlog channel thinking about a financial gain. I thought about just reaching more people. And then, of course, that channel blew up, and within, I remember the first month that we made like 10 grand. And I was like, holy cow, we made $10,000 this month on YouTube, you know? And then, then it just kept growing. And, there's been months, quite frankly, that we've made, $100,000 just on ad revenue on YouTube. And that's just crazy to me, I mean, you don't think about it. But in the grand scheme of things, there's other people in this room right now that are walking around that are making more than that every month and dwarfing it. And then you've got the big YouTubers that are making millions and millions of dollars, sometimes millions of dollars a month. So it's pretty crazy that YouTube has a ability to grow. And it's interesting because I started in 2008 and seen so many, as Greg knows, he's a friend with Logan Paul as well. I mean, I knew Logan when he lived in a one-bedroom apartment in Hollywood. And now he's worth, $1 billion, or what, he's got a company that's worth $1 billion, and he's probably worth a couple $100 million liquid. And it's just because, it's a kid that just loved to share his life and be passionate about it. And I will say, and I see a lot of younger, people here too, is that I always said that I didn't really learn YouTube and actually become successful, both monetization-wise as well as just successful on YouTube as a whole, until I started listening to 15 to 18-year-olds. When I started hanging around 15, 16, 17, 18-year-olds that were YouTubers, that's when I learned the business of YouTube. Because all of a sudden I was like, wait a second, you aren't just turning on a camera and hoping that people watch. You're thinking of every single thing. And I remember doing a video with Jake Paul early on. And, again, he was, lived in a one-bedroom apartment at the time too. And I remember us filming something, and just in the middle of filming, he was like, stop, thumbnail. And like everybody stopped and we did a thumbnail. And I thought, wow, I never even thought about that. Like, you have to think about a thumbnail, like thumbnails were always an afterthought to us. And this might surprise you guys. Every morning we sit, myself, my son Noah, and Jay Tomsky, who's here, and before we turn the camera on, we think of a title and thumbnail of what we're gonna shoot. So before we shoot the video, we've already thought of the title and thumbnail beforehand. And that's from learning from these 17, 18-year-old kids that just took it to a level that I could never ever take it.
So I'm going to open it up to the audience to ask a question right after this one here. So think of a question, and then you can ask the next one. But I think all of you have your own niche, or you have your own lane within a niche, I think. And you do it without being a detriment to the hobby too. So how is it that you obviously find that niche, which turns into the engagement and turns into the monetization? Obviously it's the passion that goes through, which is kind of what Brian...
soon, because what ends up happening is that, again, going back to 2008, we were the first reptile channel on YouTube. There was no other reptile channel on YouTube. And from 2008 to 2016, that 8 years, other people started doing it, but not hordes of people, but certainly other people started doing it, which diluted the audience, because no matter, I mean, sure, you can watch me and Brian and Savannah and Nerd, but there's only so much you can watch. So when you get to 4 channels, then 40 channels, then 400 channels, they're doing very similar content. And of course, what happens is these channels typically emulate other people. They're like, oh well, Snake Bites TV, I'm going to do something similar to that. And then, so that's the reason why we evolved in 2016 to do a vlog channel, because no one was reptile vlogging. And so we started to vlog Reptile Channel, and so we were the first real reptile vloggers now, and that went really well, and we blew up. And now, fast forward another close to 8 years, 7 years, and we have to evolve again. Because now there's just a lot of content out there that is very similar to our content, which dilutes my content, my audience. So now we have to reinvent ourselves again. What's the next iteration of my channel? And we put a lot of thought into it, and we're not going to do anything right now, but here in the next few months you'll see a pretty dramatic change in what we do on our channel. But we want to get through the aquarium build first, because we think it's a really interesting thing. But evolution is very important when it comes to success of YouTube.
Yeah, evolution. Yeah, thinking about that, like, when I'm creating content on my channel, I really love editing and creating like a cinematic masterpiece and really creating a story through the editing and with the music.
Alright guys, today's day 1 of AnimalCon. It's not really day 1, I guess industry was day 1. But today is Saturday, and I'm going to attempt to put on my leg today. So I got this tool, which was given to me, that I'm trying to, I guess I'm like a test dummy for this. And what it is just an assistant to putting on a prosthetic leg. So what you do is it helps put on the liner that, like for me, for example, I have my broken hand over here that's a little bit harder to put on the leg. So what I'll do is I'll put this liner onto this, and this is called Olaf, by the way, that the guy's trying to come up with the name. I think he did come up with the name Olaf. I'm gonna put that on here, and then I'm gonna put on the liner, then I'm gonna put on my leg today. Alright guys, as you guys can see, I got my prosthetic on. I'm an above knee amputee, so this is a fake knee that I got here. This is my real knee. Alright guys, I think I'm ready to go down there and enjoy AnimalCon, and see you guys down there. Alright, right there. Is everyone framed? Alright guys.
Yep.
So what do you guys think about AnimalCon so far?
Lit. Fantastic time. Year 2, best year so far.
You went last year?
Yeah, it was awesome. But this year is like way bigger.
Gotcha.
Yeah, there was like 5 tables last year.
Yep. I remember.
Yeah, this is completely filled.
Definitely.
Well, this is my first year.
Yeah?
Next year's gonna be my second year.
Oh, you're coming next year too?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. I am very tired, but it is so worth it.
Definitely. Well, we'll see you guys in a little bit. Definitely. So, Bailey, do you want to become a future YouTuber?
I do.
I got you out of focus. Look at this. I'm not even right. How about yourself?
Good.
You just want to introduce yourself?
Definitely.
I don't think you really did.
Yeah, so no, I did not. My name is Logan Zek. I have an Instagram, just Logan_Zek. And I want to do YouTube eventually. I just haven't picked up a camera to do it yet.
You got the right attitude, I'll tell you that.
Thank you.
You got a positive attitude. And you're a great human being.
Thank you.
It's good to actually meet you finally.
Right on,
How about you? You said you want to do YouTube? What's your YouTube channel going to be about?
Reptiles.
Reptiles?
Reptiles.
How about big trucks too? You got big trucks?
I already have an Instagram for my big truck. Now I need something for my reptiles.
Gotcha. You're a good camera guy, I'll tell you that.
I try.
So you'll be good working with the camera, I'm saying. All right.
Good. I wanted to start off just by showing you one of the most beautiful animals from the greatest continent in the world, the African serval. How cute is that, eh? Isn't it amazing? Give me 1 sec. So for those of you who don't know, serval are like a smaller version of a cheetah, right? With very sharp claws. And they've got an ability, oh come here my darling, come here, go scratch him in the face. They've got an ability to jump 10 foot off the ground, grab a bird out of the air, bring it down, eat it, right? And they are excellent with people most of the time if they've been brought up like this little guy here. So the company who owns the serval, what's the company's name?
I forget that guy's name.
Extreme Exotics.
Yeah.
bunch of legends. You've got the opportunity, guys, to go there later and have an interaction with the serval. They've also got a lynx there. There's iguanas there. It's absolutely amazing. So I just wanted to give them a shout out, and I had to show you a beautiful African animal. Most beautiful thing you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah. Besides
me,
you.
not the, besides me. Thanks, Benny.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Over here for breakout rooms for lots of talk, so make sure to check your schedule. And then at noon, make sure to be back here for bird tricks. It's going to be a ridiculously cool show, something I've been really looking forward to. So just keep the schedule, and I appreciate you guys. So I'm going to do a piece for the vlog, and then at the end of it, I'm going to say now, and you guys are going to go crazy. All right? The crazier you go, Corbin's going to go nuts. I know he's going to be. Yeah, he's got more energy than the caffeine companies need to talk to him. Okay, you guys ready? All right, here we go. And it's going to be absolutely incredible. AnimalCon USA 2023 starts now! You guys are legends, man. I love you guys, man. You guys are good. So have fun today, guys. I'll be hanging out. You know, feel free to come up to everyone and meet your favorite people and hang out. And again, like I said, check your schedules for what's going on here. I'm on a panel at 10 o'clock. Don't know where I'm at. I'm going to go find out right now. And then I'll see you guys soon. Love you guys.
All right, just want to introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Oliver, and I'm 12.
And you're a above knee amputee?
Yes.
That's pretty cool, man. I like your leg you got there. So you said you came here to see, oh, look at that. You got some style. So you said you came here to see a couple people, right?
Yeah.
You said I was on top of your list? That's
Top
so,
3.
Top 3? That's so awesome, man. I appreciate that. This guy's a good kid. And do you plan on making a YouTube channel in the future? You said he started that?
Not yet, but Ollie Skyhopper will be
Ollie
hitting whatever
Skyhopper.
Social media we can swing by the end of the year.
Definitely.
So,
and then when he's ready for his
when
first...
when he's up and running, we'll reach out
Definitely.
and we'll do a collab.
There we go. You want to say anything to the camera for YouTube?
I
You a little
don't
camera
know.
shy right now?
I don't know what to say.
So okay. And then how long you been above knee amputee?
Since April 11th.
Gotcha. You look good with it. You're doing a good job. Man, you look good. And you got all kinds of. You got a nice wheelchair. You was doing little wheelies for me the other day. But all right, I appreciate you giving time. It was so cool to meet you, man. I'm gonna see you the whole entire weekend.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll make sure I'll grab you a gift somewhere and I'll give it to you before you leave.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Alligator, man. I never thought a Chinese.
So those are really endangered, right?
Critically endangered, yeah. We are, we're a 501c3 nonprofit research facility dedicated to the conservation of endangered reptiles. Iguanas, endangered snakes, tortoises, turtles.
So what do we have right here?
This is Finley. Finley is a Cuban crocodile. I hatched her 2.5 years ago.
Yeah.
Her parents are on site. We actually, at our facility, we have the world's largest population of Cuban crocodiles outside of Cuba. So I got 50, I don't know, between 40 and 50 I have. Off the top of my head, I don't know the exact.
And Cuban crocs are the ones that run on their feet.
Yeah, they're the most athletic.
And most athletic, right? So
They can run up to 32 miles an hour. They could jump in the air. They gallop. You've seen the videos of them.
Yeah, definitely.
They absolutely do that. Wow.
Look how cool this is. He's so nice. This is insane. Wow. It's a Cuban crocodile. That's insane. He's just hanging out, huh?
Florida shows. I can't take it. You can talk passionate with this guy.
Can I see what he feels like?
Yeah, absolutely. You can hold it. You can hold it.
Oh, I got this cat in my hand.
The cat's barking at him. Yeah. He doesn't like the smell of cats, okay?
Let me hold him.
Just like that. See how my fingers are? Let him hold through there. No, right. That's fine.
still see each other. Oh man, why is it upside down like this? All right, you just want to introduce yourself, man?
Oh yeah, my name is Johnny. I'm right here with Cheyenne with Kata and friends.
Right there. Okay. Yeah. And then what'd you just hold?
Oh, what'd you say it was?
It was a Cuban crocodile.
Yeah, Cuban crocodile. Yeah.
And then how was that experience?
Oh man, it was super cool, man. Like just having something that small in my hand, knowing that it's gonna get like large.
Yeah.
And as fast as you said that they're running, that was super cool.
It's insane, right?
You say 35 miles an hour, 32 miles an hour.
Insane.
Yeah, that was insane.
All right, you got any? Where can we follow you?
Kata and Friends. That's KYDAND Friends on Instagram.
You want to grab the cat for us?
Oh yeah, for sure. Her name is yeah.
Look at the cat.
Zeno right here. Sphinx.
Sphinx.
Completely hairless.
Gotcha. Look at man, the upside down camera ain't working with me. There it is. All right.
No, you're good.
What? Yeah.
Let it just fall right to you.
Yeah.
There. Just like. It's okay. And then if you can turn this way. Yeah. Okay. I think turn now. Weapon? I don't have my camera.
So you want to just tell me a little bit of fun facts about what we got here?
We'll start with Booboo. This is a Chinese alligator. Booboo is 36 years old. She's a full-grown Chinese alligator. They are critically endangered, less than 50 in the wild, and under probably 1,000 in captivity on this side of the world. I guess China's doing a very good job at theirs. Their eyes, in proportion to their body, are the largest eyes of any crocodilian. So you get a 4-foot any crocodilian, their eyes are big. 17-foot in saltwater, of course, their eyes are going to be bigger.
Yeah, definitely.
They can be heard a mile away, and these guys are the only ones that actually fully hibernate in wintertime.
Really?
They will dig a hole. The alligators are the only ones that do it. So
how long do they hibernate for?
They can hibernate for up to 3-4 months.
Wow.
And this is Finley. Finley is a Cuban crocodile. She was hatched at our facility. We're a 501c3 nonprofit research facility dedicated to the conservation of endangered reptiles.
Yeah.
She's a Cuban crocodile. About 2.5 years old. Her parents are on site, and we specialize in Cuban crocodile breeding programs.
So where can we find you guys?
We are located in Central Florida, but we are a private facility. We don't have any public tours.
Okay.
So you can find me on Instagram. The Dragonwood Conservancy.
Dragonwood?
The Dragonwood. Dragonwood Conservancy.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you so much.
We're about ready for you. Work on TikTok and Facebook. Hi everyone, my name is Ada and my username is ReptiFairy. I started with reptile keeping because my parents they weren't allergic, they just didn't want my sisters or I to have dogs or cats. So I was just like, alright, I'll get an iguana, and that just started it.
My name is Kyle Asplund, founder of Primitive Predators at Crocodilian Sanctuary. So I grew up on a farm, so I was always around animals. But it wasn't until really Steve Irwin that really sparked my interest in reptiles, and then obviously it has grown from there to Crocodilian Sanctuary in Florida.
Hey guys, Ryan with Primitive Predators.
That's pretty cool. I don't have an interesting story like that. I don't work with crocodiles, so sorry to disappoint. I have pets, and one of those pets is a leopard gecko that I have. And one day my sister decided to take it out to just handle him, and I don't know how, she didn't put him back in the enclosure. And so we lost the gecko in the house, and we were looking for him the whole day, couldn't find him. It was like a week after, and I was still stressing, where's my gecko, where's my gecko? Couldn't find it. And then we all shared a room, and so we were all just chilling in the room one day. And then my sister out of nowhere screams I know where he is. And so she decides to look under the bed in a box where she kept her money. It had a hole. And that's where we found our gecko with all her coins that she was saving up. And I was so scared. I was like, oh my God, it probably died because it's freezing. And luckily he survived. And it's 10 years later, he's still alive.
So as a bearded dragon. Yes.
Mine's for Kyle. Have you had any luck producing those the pieds that you have?
No, so I think they're still a little bit small, and there's some domestic violence right now, a little bit. He's being a jerk to her, and that's natural, you know, with crocodilians. So, you know, they have their spouts, like they have their days, and the beauty of the enclosures is they have the space to get away. You know, so obviously it's off season, so they just kind of do their thing separately. But yeah, you know, Niles are much like American alligators, so they always have their days. I mean, just like most crocodilians. I mean, Salties and Cubans, different story. They never like each other until one day they want to breed, you know. But Niles and American gators are great. So they're definitely most likely going to breed next year. They've been awesome. I saw them breeding this year, but I think they're still, well, they were trying, but I think they're still a little bit too small. Maybe, you know, maybe a foot less. I mean, they're close. So.
And do you work with any other color morphs within any other crocodilians, like albino alligators or?
Yeah, so I have those like light colored Morlet crocodiles. So they're beautiful, but so I have 1.3 of those, and then I have 2 leucistic Nile crocodiles that I'm trying to get in from Africa right now. But yeah.
Thank you, man.
Same with Dingo. As a kid, just looking in books, and once again, it was the Gaboon Viper and like a King Cobra. But when you're a little kid and you're looking at this, this is the farthest from attainable that you would ever have with some kind of animal that you could ever actually think about keeping, touching, or interacting with that. And so we're always striving to, you know, push the limits. And I think a lot of people that are keeping venomous here has that same mystique. And it's just a pinnacle species that we love to include in our lives.
Yeah, I mean, I was just always around growing up. I was lucky enough to have a grandpa who, back in Ohio, before there were rules or regulations on anything, had diamondbacks and a Cuban crocodile in his basement and all sorts of crazy stuff. So I kind of just grew up around it and then got lucky enough to move to Florida and meet the right people, and I was able to get my permits, and now here I am up on stage, so that's pretty crazy.
Yeah, similar. Growing up, being obsessed with reptiles as a kid, and then looking at all the books with venomous. And to me, venomous are so appealing because a lot of what they do, whether it's the rattle, the bright colors, is because they're venomous and they're projecting to us, be like, hey, I'm venomous, stay away from me, I'll bite you, I'm dangerous. Cobra will hood up and tell you right away. So with all these special adaptions, I mean, to me, it just makes them way more cool.
What does it mean to go above and beyond for your reptiles?
You want to start, Benny?
That's a difficult question. Well, that's why I asked it.
All right, for me at least, hello everybody. I am Bionic Benny. I am above the amputee, and that's my good friend over there, Ollie. He came here to see me today, so everyone say hi to Ollie. Hi. But yeah, I'm above knee amputee. I became an amputee in 2020, and I have my collection has I have a very diverse collection. I have everything from green anacondas to reticulated python, African rock python, everything above knee amputee shouldn't keep. So even an Asian water monitor. So I just try to prove to people that, you know, your dream doesn't need to stop just because you ran into a bump in the road. So what I do to go above and beyond, for me at least, is just to make sure everything's, you know, I don't know how to say it. I don't want to say the wrong words, you know. Easy to clean, I would say, more sanitary, you know, and just easy for me to get to. So I only go so high on when, you know, on the rack systems and stuff like that.
Me
but
too, bro.
Yeah. But yeah, for me to go above and beyond, I think I'm already going above and beyond for what I do. You know, I'm in a wheelchair, and I'm trying to prove to everybody that, you know, it's possible to pursue your dreams of whatever you want to do in life. Was that was not really clear?
That was great.
That was just terrible.
Hi, I'm Adam, and I'm short, so I can't do tall racks either. And I'm also Canadian, so I got a bunch of disabilities. And yeah, but going above and beyond for your reptiles, I think is I mean, just not doing the bare minimum, basically. That's kind of it. I think that's what I preach for my channel, and I get a lot of crap for that, I think, maybe. Like, oh, why are you telling people to put ball pythons in 120-gallon enclosures? Because you should. And I think that it's a lot of, maybe not telling people that they're wrong, but like opening up other people's eyes to the way that things maybe should be done. And just because, I don't want to say because they're sponsors, but a glass company sells this enclosure, so therefore that's what you're supposed to keep it in. I think we're moving past that, and we're in a space now where we can give better, more accurate care to our reptiles. Not saying there's anything wrong with racks or anything like that, but I mean, if you have the option, there are more options now, and you know, if that works for you, great, and if not, then move on to something else. But as long as you're not doing the bare minimum, I think that's going above and beyond for reptiles.
And I'm going to panelist instead of moderate. So I'm Dave Kaufman. I'm not from Canada, but I live damn close to it. So going above and beyond for me, basically, to me it means that the reptiles that live in my house live a better life in my house than I do. And my refrigerator is full of more food for them than there is for me. And as a matter of fact, you know, I was at the grocery store the other day and I was buying iguana and tortoise food, and I ran into a friend of my mom's, and she looks in my cart and there's fresh fruits and fresh veggies, and she's like, "You are eating so healthy, this is so awesome." And I'm like, none of this is for me. And it all comes down to enclosures. There is that rack debate, whether or not racks are good, whether or not racks are bad. I don't think it's a black and white issue. But yeah, going above and beyond really means that if I am taking the time and the responsibility to care for these animals, that they have the very best life that they can possibly have.
What are you looking at me for? You're the moderator.
Well, I don't know. You're pretty easy on the eyes, I don't know.
Thanks, Dave.
All right, so.
What I would do, though, honestly, so if someone wants to know about geckos, just send them to Tiki's geckos, right? Someone wants to know about monitors, you send them elsewhere. But if you don't, if you can answer the question, you want to answer the question. But if you don't know, you gotta be honest and just guide them to the right direction.
There's nothing wrong with saying, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, look it up, don't make it up. Right? Figure it out before you give an answer, or send them to someone who actually knows the answer.
You know, I'm going to start living that way, actually. Actually, you know, it's funny, because we were in Bali, Thailand, Madagascar, somewhere in the world that we were.
Yeah.
And we were filming, actually, I think it was at the Monitor Park in Bangkok.
Okay.
And you said to me, you are an enthusiast, not an expert. And I thought that that was so unbelievably profound that I didn't even like, because we're YouTubers, and to me, that means that I've taken on a responsibility to make educational videos. And so I kind of strived for that, but you put that into like a whole other perspective. We're all enthusiasts here, and you're an enthusiast that's sharing your passion of reptiles with other people. I mean, I have nowhere to go with this, I'm just saying that.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Hey guys, how are you? Thank you so much for coming. How's everyone this morning? I can't tell you how much I appreciate each and every one of you people for coming and supporting this. You know, this all started, you know, probably 5 or 6 years ago with kind of a dream. And for those of you guys that don't know me, like my motivation in life is always to create things that have value, you know, that's going to give value to people. And you know, although my COO and Lori and all the people in my businesses hate the fact that, you know, I do a lot of things that have nothing to do with money. Like I'm always like, I don't worry about the money side. I just want to do something really cool, you know? And if it works out and we financially make money, great. If we lose money, that's fine too. You know, it's experience based. And so what happened was, to give you a little bit of a rundown of how AnimalCon started, was I used to do YouTube conventions called Playlist Live and VidCon. And you would go there and there'd be hundreds and hundreds of creators, or a couple hundred creators, whatever. And they were all, you know, many of them were friends of mine, but they were never animal people. And there would be panels, and there, you know, basically the same thing that's happening with AnimalCon, but it was just like YouTubers or TikTokers or whatever the case is. And there would be maybe 2 or 3 animal people at the entire event. So, I thought, can we do this just for animal people? Can we make an event to where, we have just the coolest animal people in the world in one place? Not only for us as creators to hang out, which is amazing, but also the people that support us. And the one thing that I will never lose focus on is that, I can't be who I am. The things I've been able to do, traveling the world, building reptile zoos, and now an aquarium, and all the other things. I can't do that without all of you guys, right? And I realize that, it's like I'm just a guy that loves animals, and I've been fortunate enough to live an amazing life. And that life was afforded to me by you guys. So I thought, let's make an event that we can do 2 things. We can, get the creators together that I love and I'm fans of, and get them all into one area, and then at the same time, have an experience for the people that support us to come meet us. And I think that the thing that I love the most about this event, and I thank you guys so much for coming and making it a success, is that, I see people that probably would never connect. Right? And the other thing is, of course, is that, people that are watching us and supporting us get an opportunity to see the real people, not just someone that's on YouTube or TikTok or whatever the case may be. And it's, I'll be honest with you, last year was the inaugural year, and I didn't know if it was going to work. And I've told this story to some close friends, but not to an audience of people. It's, it costs a lot to put on an event like this, right? To rent this and not to get into the minutia of things, but like the biggest problem is that you have to book X amount of hotel rooms or you have to pay for them. So when you rent the space, they say, you have to rent 400 hotel rooms. And if you don't rent 400 hotel rooms, you have to pay for what you didn't rent. Okay? And so last year, that's a scary thing, right? It's a lot of money that you're putting out on the line. And not just the rental, but all the other stuff. And last year, we were about 10 days out, and we were supposed to book 400 rooms. I think we had 200 rooms booked, and we had about 150 tickets sold total. And talk about stress. And I'm like, oh my gosh, we're going to have to pay for 200 rooms at $160 a night. We're all these great creators are going to show up from all over the country and all over the world, and we're going to have 100 people total, and it's going to be a failure, and all these other things. And in the end, it all worked out. The last 7 or 8 days, the hotel rooms got booked, the people came, and it wasn't an overwhelming success, but it was a success enough to do it year 2. And then this year has been, you guys have crushed my expectations. It's been amazing. It's been a great weekend. We went from 93 creators last year to 137 creators. We also added Creators on the Rise event that, because last year, listen, I know what it's like to be a creator that has 10 followers, and then growing. And it was really hard for me last year to turn people down, that when a creator would contact us, they'd have 5,000 followers, and you have to have a thing where you say, I can't, sorry, you need to have a little bit more of a following to be on the panels and stuff like that. So this year we're like, let's not turn anyone down. We'll just have a creator on the rise, because I know some of the creators on the rise, and it's going to be something that I pray that I'll be here next year to enjoy with you guys. Seeing some of the creators on the rise become really big creators, and we saw that last year with like a few creators, Lights Camera Ants being one of them, that was had a decent following, but this year has a big following. We saw him go from a couple 100,000 followers to millions of followers in a year. And it's like I've said, I'm 54 years old, and I've told some people this weekend, that, I have the heart of a kid. I think of myself as like 15, 16. As a matter of fact, I don't really hang around too many people that are older, because I'm typically, almost all my friends are young, and because I thrive on the young energy and the kind of just excitement that they have, and I feel the same way. But at the same time, I am 54 years old, and I see all the younger creators, and it's like I've said, it's like I feel like I'm their dad, you know, and I'm the proud father of all these young creators that are doing so amazing. And when I started this journey in 2007, 2008 of doing social media, no one really knew what that meant, you know what I mean? Like, what was social media? And the reason I started, there was no money to be made, there was no career to be made, anything like that. We had no idea that YouTube was going to become what it was, and of course TikTok and Instagram didn't even exist, and Facebook didn't exist. And I just knew that I wanted to share this deep passion I have for the love of animals, you know. And I've told the story, like, why did I start? And what happened was, you know, I was a big Steve Irwin fan. You know, I love Steve Irwin. I still to this day love Steve Irwin. I love his passion. And I've said, you know, when you walk into a toy store and you see a stuffed animal alligator or crocodile, it wouldn't be there probably if it wasn't for Steve Irwin. You know, because as a kid, people didn't love reptiles, you know what I mean? It wasn't something, you're gonna see the cute giraffe or the lion or whatever the case is. But you know, Steve's passion for crocodilians caused a change in everything, and people started to love crocodiles and love alligators. And so when Steve unfortunately died, and unfortunately I never got a chance to meet him, I'm fortunate to call his dad a good friend of mine. I've spent a lot of time with his dad since he passed. And but my point was, I felt that there was a vacuum at that point. You know, Animal Planet actually started canceling all the shows. You know, there was Austin Stevens, there was Mark O'Shea, there was Nigel Marvin, all these great animal shows. And once Steve died, to give you the background, a lady named Marjorie Kaplan was the president of Animal Planet. And that's what, for those of you guys that watch TV, you know, you might remember when Animal Planet rebranded as Surprisingly Human. And then they started putting Tree Masters, you know, Treehouse Masters on, and you know, all these other non-animal shows. Well, that was Marjorie Kaplan saying, Steve Irwin's gone, let's broom all the animal shows, and let's bring on more reality shows that sometimes have nothing to do with animals. And at that point, you know, honestly, the most amazing person in the world, and she's with me every minute of every day, and supports me like unbelievable. But she understands what my vision is, and so do everyone else that's around me, my staff, my people, my partners. Everyone understands it, and it's not about making an event that's going to make us rich. It's about making an event that's going to enrich people. You know, and no matter what happens, they will carry that torch till the day, you know, it is. And you know, and I'm sorry that, you know, it's been an emotional weekend for me, you know. You know, seeing you guys and stuff, it's amazing, and I appreciate it. But you know, 10 years from now, I hope this will be one of the largest events in the country for animals, and thank you. And I know that can be made possible if we, as the people behind it, keep that vision in mind. You know, not the vision of making money, but the vision of, like, how do we make the event better? Better for creators, better for attendees. And you know, it's funny, you know, my COO is here, Chuck. He's somewhere around here. I think he's doing meet and greets. And you know, Lori, myself, Chuck, his family are all big Disney fans, and I've talked about this before. We love Disney, and the thing about Disney that I love, you know, like, I don't go on rides. I hate roller coasters. I hate rides. I don't do it. I'm one of those old guys that, like, you know, sits down and waits for 2 hours as my wife goes on a ride. But I love Disney, and what I love about Disney is not the theme park. I love the fact that Walt Disney's vision was so incredible. Right? And I know some people that work for Disney, and to talk to them about, you work for Disney? Yes. Oh, there you go, Disney. Dude, I love Disney's Animal Kingdom, man. My buddy Matt also works for Disney's Animal Kingdom as a keeper. And I love the vision, and you know, what Walt Disney was about was He was about experience and detail to experience. Every little thing had to be perfect, right? Like you have to think about every little aspect of everything you do to give that experience. And that's what the Reptarium and now the Legacy Aquarium is going to be about. Is, you know, like how can we make every experience so incredible that people leave going, wow. And I've said that with Disney, and this is no disrespect for Disney, but Disney's the only place that I know that you can go and they will extract every dollar out of your pocket. And you leave and you cannot wait to go back and do it again. And that's because they provided you an experience that's so great that you don't care that you went into debt to do it. You know, and so that's, and it's not that I want to extract people's money, but the point is I want to have that same mentality. I've always said I want to be the Walt Disney of animals because I want to create experiences that no one else can get. And I know you guys have been to the Reptarium. I know plenty of people have been to the Reptarium. I hope that we provide something that's really special there. And the Legacy Aquarium is the same thing. And now AnimalCon to me is the same thing. And the thing I love is that Walt Disney's been gone a long time, you know, decades, but yet his vision at the park is still exactly the same. You know, nothing has changed since he's passed away. And that's what's important to me, is to make sure that my vision continues to stay alive forever. You know, long past, whether it's a year from now or 30 years from now, you know, that vision is here. And that's really what I live for, you know. It's like I said, Lori and I, I'm so blessed to have, like, Lori's simple as can be when it comes to, like, she'll, you know, other than buying plants, you know, which has been something she's been doing a lot of lately, which I encourage. I'm an enabler, right? You know, I'm an enabler. Like, every plant she sees she wants to buy, I'm like, get it. You know, because I think it's, for me, you know, she spent her life doing that with me. Now maybe she's not saying get it, maybe she's yelling at me, but you know, she's allowed me.
All right, if you just want to introduce yourself and tell me what you got here.
Perfect. I am Stephen Brazil from the Extreme Exotics Wildlife Foundation in St. Augustine, Florida. This is Phoebe, who is a Carpathian lynx. She is the biggest of the lynx species. She just turned 4 months old. 4 months going on terrible 2 stage is what she is.
And so, where are these guys located from?
So these guys come from like Hungary, Bulgaria.
Yeah. Does she like handicap people?
She seems to love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. They went yesterday. She just chewing on the guy's wheelchair the whole time. I was like, oh, sorry about that.
Oh yeah, their tongues, they have thick tongues, huh?
Yeah, like sandpaper.
How big do these guys get?
So these guys can get up to 100 pounds.
100 pounds.
Yeah.
So what's like their food in the wild?
So the interesting part about lynx is lynx love eating stuff that's a lot bigger than them. So even though they'll feed on like a little bunny or a little bird, these things will chase down an elk, a big deer, anything they can. 3 times their size, they'll go after it.
That's
so
insane.
We try to break a lot of those habits having her as a pet, so one of us doesn't become that snack.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, you don't want that to happen. All right, well, I appreciate you giving me the time, man.
Yeah, no
and I know you have a busy day today.
Yeah, Phoebe's got her work cut out for her.
Do you want to just shout out, you know, we can follow you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You can follow us, Extreme Wildlife Foundation on Instagram, Extreme Exotics Wildlife Foundation on Facebook, and then we also have the Extreme Exotics Wildlife Foundation, a YouTube channel as well. So you can follow us on any of the above.
I appreciate it, man.
Anytime, buddy.
Thank you.
Nice view of that, all right? I read. Right next to baby girl.
Yes, I'll sit right there. No, you can sit. Okay, I'm gonna sit on the furthest one. Just get that down the stairs. Actually, I'm that way. Which way? Do you want me? Sit down there.
Boys and girls, is that how we're doing? I guess. That looks kind of boy and girly. Oh my goodness.
Can we put does somebody have the
So, how many girls are there?
I honestly, I got.
Anybody associated with it?
No.
Not no.
We're totally fine. You were doing a which one caught? We gotta wait for, perfect. You come back up here.
What is
Is she coming? Come on. Come on. Yes, you're coming up here anyways. Okay, guys, so I think we have everybody here. My name is Felicia Wilson, and I'm going to be the one moderating this beautiful panel. First of all, let's give a round of applause for this beautiful panel that we have right here. So this one is diversity. And my first question, yes, absolutely. My first question to you guys is, what is one of the biggest struggles that you had in starting your whole animal career? Like people taking you seriously? Because I know when I first started, people are like, you're gonna wet. That's, no offense, but that's some white people shit that you're trying to do. And so when I first started, that's how it was, and people didn't really take me seriously. And now that we have all these different creators coming out of everywhere, I think it is so beautiful to show that anybody and everybody, as long as you have a passion to do so, anybody can do this job, because it's about the animals, not about, you know, the people.
Yeah, man, having diversity in this field is rare. You know, there's not many people that look like all of us. But until you start traveling around the world and you see people that do look like us, they do the same things. You know, you go to Honduras and you think Honduras is full of light-skinned Spanish people and they're all black, and they're hanging out with jaguars, and they're catching eels, and they're hanging out with iguanas. They're doing the same things that we do. You know, so traveling really helped me like be more. I wouldn't say be more comfortable, because I was always comfortable being who I was since a little kid, and I knew. You know, I come from the hood, so everybody in the hood or in my family are like, you trying to do what? I mean, imagine trying to tell someone you want to be Tarzan, you know, and they're like, brother, are you okay? You have, you know, you want to go see a doctor or something? You know, they would think I was like, you know, something was wrong with me, that I wanted to live with gorillas and lions, tigers, bears on mine, you know. But I think actually it was, I felt like I had a cheat code. You know, because when I came online, they saw this black dude hanging out with snakes and swimming in open water with sharks and diving off of bridges and places and catching this and catching that, and they're like, bro, that's some white people shit, you know? And I'm like, yeah, I know it is. I watched all of them, I learned from all of them, and now I got my own thing that I'm doing. And it's cool to see other people, other minorities, other Spanish guys and other black dudes, and you know, all these chicks, and I mean, it doesn't matter what you look like or where you come from, everybody has a love for animals, so it's cool to see everybody, you know, not feel shy or feel like they don't belong or fit in, because this is a game for everybody. And I'm happy we're all playing it together.
Honestly, I think most of the confusion for me came from my own family. What do you mean you don't want to be a nurse? What do you mean you don't want to follow in everything else that we do? What, are you going to go play with animals? Are you going to go play with frogs? Are you going to play with snakes? Like, what are you thinking? Like, no, you need to go to school, you need to be in medicine, you need to do all these things. And it was for me, I was like, I want to get my hands dirty. I want to go play. Get me in the mud. Get me with the salamanders. Get me with the snakes. But I think that was my biggest thing, was just trying to show my family, like, this is cool. Let's get into it. It's fine.
I think the biggest thing I probably faced was comparison to him. Like, honestly, like, a lot of people were just like, he already paved the way for the diverse people that are trying to come up and do it. People comparing me to him was like kind of a struggle, because I couldn't like open up my own lane. And then when I established myself somewhat and got a little bit diverse, people started to get comfortable with the idea. It's like, there's some white shit, but he's super athletic and good looking while he does it. So that it brought a different type of audience. And as you know, it all started.
My bad. Oh wait. Okay. Yeah. All right. Ready? Yep. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Someone else got it. 4, 5, 6, 7,
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39.
All right, you just want to introduce yourself and tell me what you specialize in?
Sure, my name is Richard. I am from the Tarantula Collective. I make videos about tarantulas, scorpions, and pretty much any kind of arachnid or invertebrate.
Okay. So what is like something you really specialize? Is there a certain species that you're working with, or you have
Not
diverse?
really. Yeah, with tarantulas, it's very similar care for all of them. There's like subtle differences depending on if they're arboreal, terrestrial, arid, or humid. But yeah, pretty much if you're into tarantulas, like one tarantula species, you're into all of them. And I don't like breed or work with any ones. I kind of make like nature documentaries, and so I go from species to species to species.
So and there's New World and Old World, right?
Yep.
Top of my head, is Old World the one that shoot out hair?
Nope, the other way around.
Other
Old
way.
World has the potent venom. New World has the urticating hairs.
Got you. Okay. Thank you. And where can we follow you?
On YouTube, Instagram, or pretty much anywhere. Just Tarantula Collective.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
Job?
No, please. I want this job. I need money. I got bills to pay.
You can take the pay. I'll just do it.
All right, there we go.
And Gatorland has so much to see, like it'll take forever for everybody to get here. So my name is Savannah. It was my pleasure to meet all you guys at AnimalCon. I know you guys had so much fun at AnimalCon. And thank you guys all so much for coming. Thank you for supporting Brian. Thank you for, I'm gonna walk out here because I feel really kind of awkward back there. We don't have a handheld on the planet Earth. And if anyone ever says anything mean about Brian, I'll fight him. Yeah, because we're all Team Brian, right? And you know, on the internet, sometimes people get a little bit crazy, but I'm very grateful for all the people that will jump in and say the things that some of us probably can't say because we'll get in a little bit of trouble. But I do appreciate the people that do, and I always like their comments. Yeah, you tell them. So I'm super happy to be sometimes on our YouTube channel. We love you, Mike Heilman. He's not even listening, is he? We all love Mike Heilman. I've learned.
So I'm going to do something for my vlog really quick. So I'm going to just say the Gatorland after party, and then you guys are going to erupt, all right? Okay, so right after I say the Gatorland after party. On this side, you got it, right? Got that? Yeah. So I'm not going to talk long because you guys have had a lot of talks and speaking and all that other stuff. I'm just going to tell you that I love you. I'm going to absolutely promise you I'm not going to cry. Not in front of you again, because I've cried like 10 times today. I want to just thank each and every one of you guys. I truly, as I look through the audience here, I love you. I'm a fan of so many of you guys. The majority of the creators here I watch religiously, and the ones I don't, it's because you suck. But the ones I haven't watched yet, I now know I will start watching, and I appreciate you guys. I want you to understand that AnimalCon doesn't happen if it's not for you. Okay, you guys showing me the support and us the support, and also much like Savannah said, it certainly isn't me that is doing all the work. I've got an amazing staff here. You know, my son and my future daughter-in-law, his wife, and so on. There's a lot of people that went into putting this on. So I just thank them. But ultimately, this doesn't happen without your support, and we want your feedback. So in the next week or two, we're going to be sending out a survey. Let us know what you think. Really want to have an amazing event next year because we need you back here next year. We just want this to be bigger and bigger every single year, and we want you guys to be looking forward to the opportunity to come and have a good time, hang out, make new friends, and just collaborate. I had so many amazing moments this weekend.
Where you want me to go to?
There you go. You guys are gonna come all with me right over here. These vultures, they are great. I have never seen them right here for me. This is as close as you can get. There you go. And throw it far.
All right. Let me make sure I'm planted. Let me put this in lock mode. All right.
Yep, guys, throw it far. Throw it at the sides of the face.
Let's go!
Throw it far. Yeah.
All right, scoot up to the line and throw. It's not a holding, it's a feeding.
See?
Oh, you picked him in the middle. That girl's wild.
Yeah, oh yeah. She's
You got it?
Or you're aiming for the side of the face just like that. Here. Oh, he caught it. He made you look good. Mayhem.
Nice. Good shot. Good shot.
Oh, you pinked him. It's the only place in Florida that's legal. Everybody gets 2 pieces. If you throw 2, gloves off, green bucket. Do not reach the glove.
12 foot. Just be careful for her. So how much do they weigh? So something like that is going to be about 800 pounds, 900 pounds. Yeah, once you get to somebody over there.